Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of class 9, and today we will proceed with the second part of the new chapter, electoral politics. So in the previous class we studied about what do we mean by elections and what are the threat to elections. After that we also discussed about why elections should be held in regular intervals. So today we will further proceed and discuss about why do we need elections. So let us proceed then. So in regard to why do we need elections, it is because a rule of people is possible without any elections if all people can sit together every day and take all the decisions. That means what? A rule of people is possible without any elections. When it will be possible, suppose you might be thinking that a rule of people, why is it necessary to give the vote through the people, and why is it not possible without giving vote also if we can implement the rule of people in a country. So when it can be possible, it can be possible when all the people can sit together every day and take all the decisions. That means every people, irrespective of their place, should sit together, and when they will be able to take all the decisions, then only we can say that the rule of people is possible without any election. Then only the rule of people is possible. But we already know that it is not possible in a large community. But one problem is there: if the people of irrespective place have to sit together and take all decisions daily, that is not possible for us. Because if we take the example of a country like India, it is very large in size in terms of area and community wise also. Therefore it is not possible for all the people to sit together daily and take all the important decisions, nor it is possible for everyone to have the time and knowledge to take decisions on all matters. So sitting on the one hand is very difficult, as we know, and on the other hand it is possible for everyone to have the time and knowledge to take decisions on all important matters. So apart from sitting in one place, that means all the people should sit in one place, that is a different problem. But on the other hand, one more problem is there, that they should have these people who will sit together should have the time also and the knowledge also to discuss on all the important matters. So that's the reason why the people have to give vote and have to elect the representatives on their behalf. If the people think that without elections these things are possible, then all these people have to sit every day and take important decisions on every matters. But the problem is that due to the large community and areas also, this is not possible for all the people to sit together at a time and to take decisions. And to take decisions also, one more problem is there: the people should have time also and the knowledge also. So whatever the decisions would be taken on the important matters, they should have that much of time. Therefore in most democracies people rule through their representatives. So what is the solution then? If people cannot sit together at a place in the same time to take important decisions, because sitting together is not possible, number one. Number two is these people who will sit together, few might not have the time to sit also. And the third problem is that regarding knowledge also, whatever the important decisions they will take, they should have knowledge also. So for all these problems, what is the solution then? Therefore in democracy or in a democratic form of government, people rule through their representatives. That means what? They elect a particular candidate from their constituencies as the representatives of the people, and these representatives will only showcase all their issues and problems in the higher or to the higher authorities. Clear? After that, in an election, the voters make many choices. So when we talk about the election process, we know that the voters make many choices. Number one is they can choose who will make laws for them. And number one criteria for choosing a particular candidate will be on the condition that that particular candidate will work and will think for them while implementing or making laws. Number two, they can choose who will form the government and take major decisions. So regarding all this, the voters have many choices, and based on these many choices, number one choice is that they can choose who will make laws for them. That means out of 10 or 12 candidates, they will choose only the candidate of their choice who will make law for them. They will choose that particular candidate. After that, they will also choose who will form the government and take major decisions. And apart from choosing them to make laws, they will also choose the particular party who will form the government, and they will also give that government the chance to take major decisions on their behalf. That means on the behalf of the people. After that, they can choose the party whose policies will guide the government and lawmaking. After that, they will choose the particular candidate from the particular constituency who will make law. They will also choose who will form the government, that means the party, and regarding that party only, they will choose that party whose policies will guide the government and lawmaking. That means the people are fully aware of the party manifestations and the government policies. Party policies and party manifestations are there. Before elections only, these parties, whoever the party is contesting the elections, will release the manifestation, and in that manifestation many promises, many policies will be released, and if that particular government comes to power, they will rule the country according to that manifestations only, fulfilling the promises that they will do in the next 5 years if they are elected. So like that only, the people, what will they do? They will choose the party whose policies will guide the government and lawmaking. Clear? After that, what makes elections democratic? That means this is the condition on which the election is being told democratic. When we can say that the election process is democratic in nature. So conditions of a democratic election is that first, everyone should be able to choose. This means that everyone should have one vote, and every vote should have equal value. That means we have already read about that in the previous chapters also, like a person has one vote and one value. Clear? So the first condition of terming election as democratic is that a people who will vote should have one vote, and that one vote should have that one value. Second, there should be something to choose from. Parties and candidates should be free to contest elections and should offer some real choice to the voters. And secondly, when we can term election as democratic, when there will be many options to choose from. Suppose, assume that in a particular constituency of, assume Jorhat, in the earlier election there were a few candidates, suppose 3 or 4, and the people were opting and were willing to elect from those 4 only because the choices were very less. But suppose in the next elections of 2021, just assume that there are around 10 candidates in the same election. Then what will happen? The people will be given a wide range of candidates to choose from. So people will have at least a choice to choose from these 10 candidates. And apart from this, parties and candidates should be free to contest elections and should offer real choice to the voters. And when 10 candidates will be contesting elections, those candidates should be free to contest elections. They should not be forced to leave their nomination. They should be given a free and fair chance to contest elections. and people should also get a wide range of candidates to choose from. And apart from candidates being given free chance, they should also offer to the people some real choice. That means the promises. These 10 candidates should offer people about their own willingness to work for the society and what is in their manifestations. That means what will that particular candidates who are contesting in an elections, what will they promise to do in the next 5 years if they are chosen as the representative. So in this way, this is the first condition was that everyone should be able to choose. That means one vote should be equal to one value. And secondly, the parties, the candidates should be more in number, so that the people should have the choice to choose from those candidates. Clear? So with this, I will wind up today's topic regarding electoral politics. In today's class, we discussed about why do we need elections, and in an election, how can the voters make many choices, and we also read about the two conditions on which we can say the election process is democratic in nature. So with this, I am winding up. Thank you.